I really hope that this doesn't go beyond maybe 15 minutes, even though it's a very important topic. I'm not trying to explain too much on the psychology or how demons interfere with this as much, but just to at least, right, talk about this topic, God willing. Bismillah. So basically, there is this situation where human beings, there's this situation where human beings, there's always that group that sadly, due to all the problems that you could ever think of that could ever exist, whether you actually know them or not, just think of problems, okay? Some are obviously, some are obviously from demonic, where they're pressuring you to be with people that, right, that people of the opposite gender, unrelated to you, healthy companionship, which is not more than 5 years age difference, that you are not sexually compatible with, you know? That basically just means the attraction level. Um, they don't really talk about this because it's that evil spirit, that those evil demons out there that hate that. They hate human beings finding the person God actually wanted for them of the opposite gender, unrelated to them. They obviously are against your happiness. Would you agree? Demons. If you know anything about them, you would agree they just hate you being happy. This is the area they target the most, the romantic relationship. So they introduce all perversions. They teach human beings all types of perversions so they can get rid of this. Okay, but then they introduce the other, evil out there, where they try to match you with someone that's not for you. So they can then use that to introduce more perversions, which is usually, again, it's both genders. You're going to have this problem. But the example we see a lot, because women are basically good at being more vocal about the bad things they experience, while males, again, it's not a gender thing. Demons have taught them to shut up. Okay. So see, it's the way they do things. These demons, they cause you things. And then whatever happens usually in human society, then, right, males may not talk so much about their traumas, their problems, their insecurities. They usually live very boring, useless lives. Okay, then they're not going to tell you that, but they're going to tell you their sort of issue or problem. They tell you, oh, his wife doesn't want to be sexual with him enough, or blah. It's always him who complains, usually. There you go, because the devil wants to introduce that perversion, where he wants to label males like some strange other species over there, as if females are not created to match the sexuality of the opposite gender, unrelated to them. That's nonsense. Women are human. They do have a sex drive. They do have sexual desire just like a male. The problem is these demons are out there, and they target both genders by trying to bring you someone that you are not supposed to be with. And they usually like to do it more to females. They like to bring the males who the female doesn't want. You know what I'm talking about. Usually males are going after females, always trying to get them. That's because that's not the man for her. If someone and you are compatible, why are you always pursuing them? The attraction would be mutual. So those are perverts, okay? But then there's that sort of, I would say, covert type of pervert. You get me? He's not like a creep bothering someone. Oh, we're not talking about that. He could be her friend. He could be her colleague. He could be, right, someone she's actually friends with or comfortable with, who's just then trying to be with her. You get me? Okay, that's sort of covert pervert that I can't stand. He's gonna just, you know what I mean, just constantly push the buttons, and she doesn't honor herself. She's gonna just go with it, right? Maybe the devil scares the hell out of her. She's getting older maybe, or hasn't married or whatever. He'll use something that any gender could be uncomfortable with, the pressure of this life, that you don't have something you should have had maybe. Just accept this one. Just accept them. You've known each other for so long. They're probably gonna honor you, blah, 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 blah. It's not about knowing people, okay? That makes you marry them. It's about compatibility. Okay, so usually, you get me, they become friends with them, but they actually have that intention towards her. So we're gonna have this problem. You get me? Where she's just doing it, the flow. Just gonna date. They're just gonna do sex before marriage, which is just a sin. But then one day when they get married, she's gonna feel less pressure to play that role, right? She's gonna sort of relax. And now, exactly. He's gonna go to males and be like, this female doesn't want to do what he wants to do. And his demon, he knows this male, they're not stupid. They know they're not compatible. They know but they're evil humans. If he was a good person, he wouldn't pursue someone that doesn't want him like that. So for that reason, he already knows the incompatibility. He already knows what naturally he violated that natural law. So then he's gonna go because he's a bad person. He's gonna go, he's a pervert, obviously, just a covert one. They're gonna go spread what the devil wanted him to spread, which is the whole reason he was, sort of pushed by his demons to pursue a woman like that he's not compatible with. So that then his demons can go create all this content, whether it's podcast, YouTube, writing books, whatever. They always go out there. And he's gonna perpetuate the perversion that's out there, that's also a sexism. That women don't have the same sex drive as men. This nonsense. They just want to accuse the women. The way you can defend yourself against this nonsense is that obviously God would be to blame. God would, you get me? You're portraying this dumb, useless God if you say women don't have the same drive as men. Yes, they do. We just have a problem. We're human beings of both genders, right? The bad ones like to go after people and act interested in them who are not compatible with them. Just like bad people want to act like your fake friend, bad people want to act romantic with you. Get it? Common sense. You guys seem to forget. So they're the statistic. You get me? That word. Statistic. They're the statistic. They're the statistic where there's incompatibility. All of a sudden you hear about one doesn't want what the other one wants. And this one is just trying to do what they're told. Oh, two times of being sexual in a week, like that, which actually seems pretty heavy, because this is not some sort of job. Well, why are you creating a number for every week? Just so you know, that's not moral. You're supposed to be intimate when you feel that way. Get it? When you actually feel the urge. You're not supposed to create rules for each other, like let's do this many times a week. That's what demons taught you. So they can turn marriage into this sort of obligation, this sort of pressure, nothing but stress. Obviously, that's another reason why it affects women's health. Since usually, I told you already, this evil happens to both genders, right? There's a time that a female pursued this weird male, he agreed to it. He's not interested, I get it, but usually there's some types of evil you would agree that, or I'm trying to teach you, if you haven't understood that yet, there's some type of evil. There's some specific types of evil, obviously, that demons, right? I don't want you to blame a gender, okay? Just demons. They just like to use one group more and teach it to them more, okay? It's that simple. It's not about the two genders. Don't blame nobody. Just like racism. You're not going to be like one race would be good at it more than, no, Okay, but in a certain time in human history, they're going to push one race to be the ones who are the ones teaching and spreading racism like that. It doesn't mean the others couldn't be used. It's just they have an agenda, So this always used to stress me out when I was young, especially. When I was a teenager, I would always observe the typical sort of just average female, not the healthy sort of strong personality females. No, just the sort of average weak ones, just like the average weak males. I never saw them really picking a man that they really desired, that they really wanted. It was always just one just sort of going after her. You get me? So not only did I see that as no different than her killing herself, right? It was just so perversion. It was just like rape to me. It was disgusting to me. But two, I'm seeing what she's signing up for. Years and years and years. Waking up every day and he's going to treat her like some maid. We need to do this. We need to do that. We need to have this much this. We need to have this much kids. It's just that horrible male. It's not a good person. Okay? So basically what I'm saying is, unless humans observe the human beings, right, of the opposites, the unrelated, that are being sexual, right, who are not more than 5 years older than each other, because above that is not sexual, that's perversion. Unless you observe their dynamics, this is where evil humans will come up, which is just ones like them, who are gonna then use that to create sexism. Oh, this gender can't do this, that gender can do that. This gender, blah, blah. They're gonna just make you seem like you're stupid or something, or that you don't know how to do something, or that you're created not to accomplish or do something. No, no, no. He's a creator. He created these unrelated two genders of a healthy age gap to mate. Why would he create one incapable of giving the other what the other would be compatible with, and the other does the same for them, vice versa? You see, the way you know something is not true is just connected to God. If it's unjust, it's not from him. There's some sort of situational things that have happened in human history. Situational. There's something that doesn't mix and match with something else, going to it, mixing with it, and because, right, there's disparity, there's incompatibility. That incompatibility is being used as a weapon to push down one person, accuse one person of something. Women are human beings and they're not stupid. These males are like animals. They just want to go to them. And she obviously wants what sex was created for by God Almighty. It's an intimate thing. It has the emotional component. It has the verbal component. It has the friendship component. It's companionship. A man is a human. He wants those things, correct? So he would just naturally do that. Get it? That's your nature. So the one who cannot do it, and he just wants to be quick this way, be quick that way, copy a porn video. Well, we have an evil human here. So it's the most evil thing I've ever witnessed in the human race. The way evil males are portrayed as their gender's nature. The qualities of an evil male, get it? Just evil. It's always being connected to the nature of the male. It's so evil. It's so irritating to me. Just a group of bad males who are shallow and shabby and dumb and sexist and perverted and strange. They just may not act like it. They might have a job. They don't necessarily go around cussing females out. That don't portray sexism as like, right, he actually goes around and harasses them. Sexism is just a mentality. Like they accuse women of having low sex drive. No, they don't. It's because you keep pursuing women who are not the woman God made for you. Incompatibility is the reason she doesn't want to do it with you. And there's that fear of divorce because humans don't want to become a statistic. Where, right, yes, they made a mistake, but instead of just doing the right thing and divorcing, yes, that's what God wants for you. God wants you to be happy. You made a mistake, you can fix it. Why would a God, if he's good, want you to stay with this male you're not supposed to be with, or that female you're not supposed to? Why would he want you to be miserable? When you think of a God, who do you think of? The only one who would care for you, right? Like a judge that you can go to and be like, I made a mistake. Help me. The one who would be like, sure. That's how you should see God. Not one who would be like, no. He's not going to limit you from getting out of bad situations. Whether, right, you put yourself in that situation or others put you there. It doesn't matter. But because, right, humans are so scared of divorce. They're so scared of, right, what those evil humans, because good people, there you go, would be proud of you. But the evil ones, who are the same reason you obviously went into that bad marriage, because they're there, obviously, pressuring you all that time. Oh, just date him. What's the big deal? It's just one, just go, just have fun. You don't have anyone to date. Just go like that. That's how they pressure you. The language has changed, you know? It doesn't seem like the other type of way of pressuring people are like force. Come on, what do you think pressure is? Pressure is basically saying I'm forced, but on a lower level. I'm not trying to make you, you know? I'm trying to pressure you to do what I want and go against yourself. So then I don't have to be labeled as if I made you do it, you know? You chose it like that. Or force is like against people's will, you know? So this is like a lower level of that. So we have that problem. That's why they don't agree on how much sex they would. Sex has become some sort of chore. I'm telling you right now from a moral place. Sex is not an activity, okay? It's not some skiing trip you need to go on 2 times a week. It's literally just a desire, okay? So it just means you don't desire this person. End of discussion. Why? You shouldn't have married them. You just don't desire them. So, right? If human beings were compatible, if this woman saw a man that she cannot stop staring at, right? Because this is the man of her dreams that God created for her to marry, and he can't stop looking at her like that. If we finally have the compatibility, when they're together, just conversation, just normal, whether it's public or in a private place, right? It doesn't matter. If they can't stop seeing each other that sexual way, well, now we found compatible people. We're not talking about perversion. When 2 weirdos are around each other and they're thinking about touching each other that other way, well, that's no. I have to protect you from that evil thought. There's perverts who just want to touch people right when they meet them. No, those are perverts. I'm talking about real deal, pure love and attraction. Okay, it obviously is going to have a lot of the sexual energy. See, they didn't do anything. That person didn't expose their torso to you. They didn't do anything. So don't mock God. He didn't create sexual urge or desire or drive to be something where you have to do something to make the other person feel something. No, you just find each other extremely desirable. You know, just your eyes. You could just be talking to each other. You turn around and maybe you work together or something, and you're just giving the information. Okay, so you know this document, they're just talking to you normally. And the way they just flick their eyelashes, male or female, just the eye, the hair in the eyes. Boom, it just sends you that energy that they're extremely beautiful there to you, right? Because obviously humans are more beautiful than each other in terms of physicality. We're not gonna think everyone's good looking, and we're not gonna think the opposite gender, right? The healthy age gap from us. We're not gonna find that the hell you think. We're not, humans are not animals, okay? We're not, and the animals are not like that either. That's disgusting. There's just certain types of human beings of the opposite gender, unrelated to you, of that healthy 5 age maximum gap, that you are actually going to find attractive. The rest are just like nothing, okay? So pick the ones that normally you would be attracted to, okay? Of that example I gave you, what a healthy opposite is for you, that God created. Everything outside of that is perversion. For that reason, you just find everything about their body that way. You get me? Beautiful. If you ask me to describe it, I wouldn't call it sexual, because humans are very simple-minded. They're gonna think of sexual images. No. When I say high sexual energy, or they just find it extremely sexual, I mean beautiful. You just find this person extremely beautiful to you. Okay, so they could just stand up normally. You just think that's beautiful. Right? They say hello to you and you think that's beautiful. That's literally how God created sexual urge or desire. You just find them extremely beautiful to you. Okay, then that builds up that sexual energy where you would love to touch them. Okay, and they feel the same way about you. Now, you don't have to talk about how many times to do something. This is not a job. This is how you know males are still doing that nonsense where they keep going after women who don't really want them. But these women maybe are friends with them or whatever, or maybe maybe she didn't find the right man for her yet. And they just pressure her. You get me? Just go with this one because you don't have someone else. Whatever. These women pressure themselves into many things. You should already know that by now. More than males do. It's just the society we live in. Demons have targeted this gender more, obviously. And if you're like, why do they do that? Because the devil is male. Get it? Since the devil is male, he's going to obviously go and hate the female gender more. There's actually that sort of logical reason. He's not female. Look, he's male. He doesn't care about females then in that sense. If he's an evil male, right, spirit, he's going to hate males and females. Okay, but he's going to hate the females more because he's male, you know? So obviously humans have suffered from pressure, right? In human experience. My words are getting ruined because I'm recording in public. Sorry. Sometimes I seem to pause and I don't really say the healthy sentence I wanted because I have evil humans who are possessed. They have horrible witchcraft. They just get in their cars and they just park here. And they just, you can tell they're listening. Not that human is dead and blind. They don't know what the hell I'm talking. I just mean like a sort of evil in them, you know? They don't know who I am, but just something evil is listening to me. So since they make you hyper aware of that, it sort of is ruining my words. I'm going to try to turn and face the other way. Hold on. Okay, so I'm just trying to explain it to you in the most simple way, right? I was trying to say simplistic. Simplistic way. Because, right, human beings confuse you a lot. There's going to be ones who are like, no, that's not true. No, this is true. And I told you already, usually the males, 99%, it's usually male, who go on, and again, there's females who do this. I just mean, they do this more because this quality of going after females' rights is obviously more in a male than a female. Females don't really, the evil ones don't try to take away males' rights, you know? Okay, so the males were always acting like they're teaching you about relationships are actually from the devil. So they're always going to perpetuate the same nonsense in ancient history. They always lied about women's sexuality and their drive and all that. It's just sad. Healthy, smart people. Okay, oh my goodness. When I started this episode, I had this excellent way that I was able to speak, but now I keep pausing because this witchcraft is attacking my mind. I mean, I can wait for this evil human to leave the parking lot, but they take forever to leave. Literally, that's what it means to be gang stalking or whatever they are. They don't leave for hours. Okay, I prayed a certain way now. I hope this helps now. They keep regaining their power even if I pray against them. So, see, brain fog. I can't finish my words. I'm sorry. Basically, I'm trying to say that, you know, it's getting on my nerves. Give me a second. Okay, see, the brain fog is from the witchcraft. It's obviously what makes the episode too long because I have something to tell you and it's so quick and to the point. But they're attacking my poor mind. Okay, so basically is what, you know, evil human beings have always done in human history. They always try to control that romantic area of your life and introduce perversions. You know, pushed humans to go against their nature, their will, their morality. God taught them, and they just go with people they don't want. You already know females were usually the ones pushed into those situations, even though they did it to males too, right? Woo! Past humans were so disgusting and dirty. The ones today do the similar sins, but it's like in different ways. So just know, you know what I mean? I'm telling you right now as a human being, don't ever let human beings confuse you. God did not create weird things, you know, to be seen as normal. What's weird is really weird, you know? If you see something that just doesn't make sense to you, you're like, but why would women be like that if God created them for men? You know what I mean? And men were created for... Anytime you're just seeing one gender say the other is not giving them what they need, but then, okay, it's a specific or situational issue. It's a situational issue. They're incompatible. Okay, so yeah, as I was saying, you just find this person extremely beautiful to you. So that beauty, right, then becomes, right, obviously it's a romantic thing, right? It becomes sexual then, right? Where you would want to get close to them and touch them. Okay, and they're feeling the same towards you. That's what they call, I don't like this word. Humans are weird. That's what they call like feeling hot or whatever. You get me? Because it's affecting the body. It's affecting the way the heart is beating fast because it's sort of feeling, right, extremely shy or nervous about that, you know, because it's a big feeling, obviously. Okay, and then that's it. If you just find someone like that that's perfect for you like that, which God has created that person for everybody. Some of them are obviously not going to marry you. God will give you someone else because, you know, maybe they've gone down perversions and weird things. Maybe they're that murderer in prison like that. God obviously is not dumb, right? You get me? Like, for example, let's say a male who right now who murdered people, he's in prison, okay? Obviously, this would mean if he was normal, right, when he was actually normal, that there was a female that was supposed to marry him, right, in God's eyes. That was his spouse. Okay. When he obviously is no longer now fit to be with that human, right, who's female, obviously now God was already changing things. He already is a creator. He knows what to do. You know what I mean? He already was giving her someone in his place like that. So yeah, that person is always out there. Sometimes God just wants them to get out of specific sin, and he'll actually help you come together and get married. Or, okay, I didn't know my recording got cut off, so I'm going to have to repeat this. But basically what I'm saying is that feeling that you always find that person that beautiful to you, you know, God is never going to mix ugly and pretty. Just so you know, humans do that. I told you that weird incompatibility, they keep messing up. They mess up the age, they mess up the look, they mess up the attraction level, they mess up everything. And then they want to come and blame God. Oh, this person doesn't desire me. What is going on here? Sometimes it's perversion and rape and weird nonsense going on and filth. And the other one is so filthy they agreed to it. So you get me? Just stop watching humans as your compass. They're not your compass. You know? Use your mind and just be rational. You're going to figure it out. If God is good, he created everything to be logical and balanced. Anytime it's not, humans are doing something wrong. So, right, whoever God wants for you, obviously, is someone that if we looked at both of you, we would say you're very compatible in terms of the attraction level. I'm sorry, not attraction, physicality level. One is not too ugly or too pretty. You're like that level that we would put you where you're exactly the same, right? In that, you know, physicality or beauty, or you're that healthy, decent, balanced level, you know. Brain fog, excuse the way that my voice, I keep saying words that don't necessarily seem like it's coming from a calm place, because there's so much witchcraft around me right now, but I'm still gonna record this. So yeah, it's just that feeling then, right? Since you find them so beautiful to you, right, and they find you the same, it's gonna just connect to the other qualities that God created of this romantic attraction, right? A desire to just touch them. Okay, so there's no rules. You know what I mean? There's no such thing as we're gonna do this many times a week. That's disgusting and creepy, and that's perversion. And these perverted males, whether they're actually with the female, right, God wanted them to be with or not, you get me? They're just gonna abuse her, you know? Gonna turn it into a chore for her, and that fear that you're in some sort of cult or you're being violated, or that's how she's gonna feel all the time, you know? Literally, I always see those males like rapists, to be honest. I don't see them differently. Just a different type of rapist, maybe. I just see perverts the same way. I don't care. I can tell a perverted human from a billion miles away, you know? Also because they're usually creepy and shabby in the way they look, and it doesn't mean that, you know, necessarily have to be ugly. It's just, whatever. It's hard to explain it. But yeah, we have evil in this life. It is trying to blend and mix with you so you don't get to experience that sexual satisfaction that God actually wanted for you. God wanted good for you, right? That to the devil is a happiness then, right? Just like wealth is happiness, just like health is happiness, all these blessings. So obviously they're going to go after this too. They're going to try to match you with someone you shouldn't be with. I'm so angry right now. This witchcraft is attacking me. I had so many good points to share with you. But I just want you to know that God did not create males like that. He did not create females like that. No one is that weird where you feel like they're violating the other person, where you feel like these males are attacking and controlling these females, and you already know he's going to cheat on her or leave her, right? If things go the way that it is. He basically turns sex into a chore. Do it this many times a week, or he's not happy or whatever. See, that's not someone who loves you, right? Is someone who loves you gonna treat you like they need something from you? No, right? They want something. They want in the sense that they just want to connect with you. Okay, that's it. It's creepy. And if you're not in the mood, obviously, then they would do the work. So you feel that way. You get me? It's a companionship. You care about each other. You care how this person feels. So that's how you know it's not love. Because they just want the female to do what they want. Now, we don't have enough sex, so we need it. Like, what? Why does she not want what you want? You get me? Because he doesn't love her. It's not love. Common sense. If your friend didn't want to go out to skiing with you anymore, or trips anymore, or talk to you anymore, if you were a good friend, you'd be like, what's going on, right? These males are just trying to blame it on the female because they're evil. And I told you guys, some sort of humans we could say were not necessarily evil, right? But good at the beginning to some degree. Not good as in like the pure version of good, because that doesn't change, but just decent good. Obviously, humans become evil. So he could have been a decent guy at the beginning, and this could have been the male for her, right, from God. But now he became evil like that. Humans get twisted, especially by those crazy, typical misogynist males that teach him how to treat a woman, right? Duh, that they obviously changed them and pushed them to be that way. Obviously, it's his choice what he becomes at the end. And now he comes home, and she used to be happy with him before, but now she's not. You get me? Because she's a creation, not an object. She's a living being. She can tell your energy changed. So that's another way then her body's repulsing you, right? Her brain is saying, no, get away. But maybe they're not thinking of divorce yet. They're sort of anxious of what others will think. Because the devil hates marriage, you get me? So usually this happens when they get married. But when they were dating, everything was good to go. Like that. You should be thinking something's going on, right? God have mercy. I mean, yeah. I just want to defend God in this situation, even though God doesn't need me to defend him. Just, right? The character of God, the way they always act like this is the way he created males or something. No, these are weird, creepy, perverted, strange, weird males. Their demons are the ones that want to control that female, since these males are possessed. And they're just basically going to try to force this female to go against her nature. You get me? To do things she doesn't want to do, and to do things that God doesn't want her to do, because it's too much. He's asking too much. But if he loved the person, then sex is not the way they experience that. Being with the person is how you experience that love, correct? You just love being together. You love having fun. You love having conversations. You just sit together sometimes and just chat like long lost friends. That's what love is. So anytime you see someone just wants the sexual, that's a pervert. Get it? Because there's a type of perversion that just wants to go after your body. So just because they married you or they're dating you, right, and they're not that pervert, right, that creep over there, doesn't mean that they're not a pervert. You get me? They just want to control that body. They want to harm it because they're possessed by demons who are perverted. And when they tell this male or female, right, to do this more, now the intent is evil, which is why then obviously that's a sin. I don't want you guys to think if a human does something normal like sex with a healthy partner that God, right, gave them, that then it's always normal in God's eyes. No, it's the intention. If they're calling on their spouse to do this behavior and the intention is evil, right? Well, that's a sin now. Sin is not just the behavior being bad. Sin is also the intent for behaviors that are actually normal. You get me? And now the behavior is not normal. They're going to maybe ask her for things like oral and anal and, okay, that's not sex. That's homosexual conduct. Those are the other sins. Just other things will enter. You get me? That now you're going to see it's other perversions entering it. And that's why they wanted more. You get me? That's actually why he or she wanted more. Because in this more, they're going to ask you to do things with them that's new or extra. Okay. But then the actual first reason is perversion is because they just want to touch your body. You get me? They just want to, their demons want to touch that person's body. They just want to make this human have bad intent towards their spouse. And in this case, you know, the person they're dating, even though you should be married first. And then it's not sinful for you to be sexual. You get me? So you have to think about things like that. the evil in the person's mind. What do they want when they're asking you for something? And right, it's not the natural, or it's not a mutual thing. That's your gut and conscience that God created in you, right? That's basically guiding you that they have a bad intention, even if you can't tell. So that's like God protecting you. It does, your gut and conscience are gonna just be like, I don't want to do this. You know, you obviously by now have other reasons you've observed they've changed, and that's usually what these females say. They say these males don't even interact with them. You get me? They don't have a relationship with them like they did when they were dating, like that. Just the idea that you would agree, right? Romantic relationship is like also your friend, right? You obviously are friends with this person. You interact with them. You talk to them. You help them. That's what they stopped doing for her. So duh, she's not gonna love you, right? You just disconnected from her. So then they want to mock women and accuse them of not actually wanting the sexual part of sex, and they want to accuse her of just being like a child or something. She just wants emotional intimacy. Stop accusing my gender. Sex includes the emotional intimacy. Goodness, anything you do has emotion that you're gonna feel as you do it, whether it's evil or good. So emotion is involved in everything. So it's a physical behavior, but obviously includes emotions. What the hell? Common sense. They get it, want to harm her like some object. So of course the emotion is gone, because emotion means morality, right? Happy, joy, feelings of, wanting each other, feelings of finding each other beautiful, all the ways you compliment each other in that moment, right? You're saying things to praise each other. All that stuff is gone because the love is gone. So basically when they say, oh, women want this and not just the sexual act, you know what that actually they should be saying to you if those demons were honest? Women just want moral sex. They just want the morality. Okay, good males want the same if females are abusing them too. It's just that this is an evil that usually enters the male. You get me? Because this is just what demons do. Just like they make Europeans more racist in this lifetime than Africans. You get me? Like that. It doesn't mean the other gender is not capable of it. It's just we have the demons in the male want to abuse females more this way. While females, their demons, right, are going to then try to abuse males in another way like that. So you have to observe sometimes why one gender seems to have certain qualities more. Don't insult God and connect that to their nature or God or anything or their gender. It just means demons have chosen this quality should repeat in this group. Like that. So then that human, whether she's an evil or good female, unless she's perverted and disgusting and creepy and she doesn't care, right? If that moment she's being healthy, right? That's a choice. Then she actually just wants what normal sex should normally look like. He doesn't. It's this sort of weird ego thing for him. Maybe he boasts to males or whatever that, because, right, maybe they tell him they do it this many times. They're abusing those females and they're scared to say no. Then he's going to come to his wife like that. Humans go out of their marriage and tell others what they do. That's a sin. Don't tell others what you do with your spouse, whether it's sexual, private, or just normal things. That's how evil also comes in. That's not the reason. The reason is you shouldn't do that. You're dishonoring that person. The second reason is those humans, what they say is going to influence you if you're a dumb, evil human, and now you're going to abuse the spouse. Now God has to intervene and put it into their heart, divorce you, right? First, he obviously tells them to try to guide you away from it. You're not going to always want to change. So that's what I'm saying. Don't actually fall into this nonsense. If a woman actually finds the man that God actually wants her to be with, she's going to be as sexually active as you could imagine a very sexually active male would be with a woman he really desires a lot. You get me? Don't usually males use the word desire like that. They also have the same terminology we would give her. Desire. She also desires him too. But they usually don't go to males they really want. They just settle. So because they just settle, okay, there's no desire. You see, this is a logical problem. There's a problem about logic. So there's incompatibility. At some point, she's going to stop faking it, right? And now she's going to just be herself because she's human. As a human, obviously, at some point, you might reach an authentic level, right? And now it's going to manifest as this situation where she's saying no and he wants yes. Okay, and now they're gonna come to you because that evil human knows that they're incompatible with this person. They don't want to just say, forgive me, I'll let you go. I pray that you find the person you're actually supposed to marry. You're not supposed to work it out. What the hell's wrong with you? People who are supposed to be together are supposed to work things out because demons can come in. But every marriage, you're not supposed to work it out. Work it out implies that evil doesn't happen, that incompatible people don't come together. So you're mocking God as if he didn't already warn you evil is out there and demons push wrong people to you. So if you agree with me that happens, okay, then stop acting like you can fix everything. Obviously, healthy people are always going to come to the comment section of these dumb videos where males are giving advice to these couples, where the female is usually the one saying she doesn't want to have sex. God have mercy. I told you already, in order for demons to teach you a lie about a gender or a race or an ethnicity or age group, they have to create that same scenario. A scenario where she's always saying she doesn't want him more as much as he says he wants her. He doesn't want her, obviously. He wants perversion and control. Because, get it? If he actually desired her, she'd actually desire him back. You get me? Just in terms of that. Obviously, if they're incompatible, she's not going to. But just, you get me? If this was actually the man for her, what he actually was feeling was, he just really thinks she's just desirable to him. Get it? That would then make her fall in love with him. Right? Because this stuff transcends to the other person. It affects them. It's not affecting her because he's lying when he uses words like desire. I want sex. He's lying. He just wants the perversion type of sex. You know, the one about dominance and stuff. The one to brag to males who are creepy over there. Who just use females like a trophy. She may not understand what's going on. The devil might convince her there's something wrong with her. But deep in her conscience, she knows. You know what I mean? That there's something wrong here from a place of immorality. You know? Because a lot of humans are weak in the sense of standing up for their assertive side. They're weak, right? They're not assertive and strong and healthy and authentic. Or they're just going to be stuck in that situation. You know? It's so heartbreaking. You know? Other situations, they know this is not the job for them. They quit. They know this friend has changed. It's time to let them go. But this romantic, situation, they obviously, right? Because demons get a lot of energy from perversion. It's a very evil thing. She's going to develop heart disease or problems or a lot of psychological, like trauma and anxiety. She might have panic attacks randomly because she's always feeling pressured by this male. Imagine coming home and just feeling pressured to go to that bed and do things. It's so creepy. What the hell? That's not what love is. So yeah, as I was saying, I'm going to end it with this. That's how he makes her feel, get it? Everyone? That's why they don't want to do it, because it's actually not the man for her. It's someone else who stole her husband's spot. Christianity knows this a lot. People can steal the spot of your spouse. They can try to, have you basically in their life. And I told you, they can send witchcraft to you that can try to make you think, right, that these emotions and thoughts are saying, oh, they're cute, they're this, they're that. You find them desirable. They also send you dreams of, someone that looks like you and someone that looks like them being, I don't like to use the word sexual, but that's what they're showing you. It's perverted, obviously. Like that, they're trying to manipulate you. God is pure. Why would he show you a dream of you being sexual with your spouse? That's disgusting. That's from a devil, right? Your creator is not creepy or perverted. Why would he show you dreams like that? So you should already know that's not your conscience, okay? Your conscience would just think about them in that pure way of just wanting to love them. That's it. And you're not going to have God sending that to you. That's weird, okay? Just know everything that's weird is from demons. So, and you might be like, well, how does God protect people like that? If you're saying demons are manipulating their feelings and thoughts with things like witchcraft. They don't know witchcraft. Because you're human. You know if you actually desire and love this person or not. See, you always know what you feel and think. Deep down, you just know. So humans are just choosing to go against that. Something is pressuring them. They just need to stop that. Common sense. But for you, right, who's listening to this, maybe if you are in a situation where you actually are fortunate to hear something like this, just know not to fall into those weird videos. Anytime they give a statistic about females and they're just making it seem as if their nature is not able to be compatible with male nature, just know that's a human possessed by demons who's lying. He created these two genders for each other, the ones unrelated. Of course they're going to be perfectly compatible. But there's specific people who are compatible with you of that opposite, unrelated, not too old, as I mentioned. Right? God has like a first choice, second choice, third choice. Whoever in that moment that you are seeking a romantic partner, he would send you. They're perfect for you in that desire level. You get me? You don't have to actually look at each other after you get married and go home and look at each other and be like, okay, these clothes are so heavy from the wedding. It's so awkward. Let's do it. No, you don't think like that. You're just happy. You're just like friends. You're just laughing. What did you eat today? Oh, yeah. Hey, did you see that one who was like, you're just going to be like friends. You're just going to laugh and joke. Not the friend that they imply, that sort of male, female friends. Not that one, because they're kind of being, right, sort of fake with each other to some degree, right? Because they can't really be friends. I mean, like, the friendship that comes from pure love for each other, right? You just care about each other. I don't know how to explain, whatever. You're friends, okay, in this moral way that you've never seen. There's no pressure, This evil thing that I hate that humans always do is they always tell someone what to do, like, it's nighttime maybe, and they tell you, go take a shower first. Those things are like, you know what I mean? Like your autonomy as an individual or human. Why are you telling someone when to take a shower? They're not they're an adult. It's up to them when they go and do things like that. So those are the other weird, creepy things I see in human beings who are evil. They always try to tell you what to do. Because what they're saying is normal, right? A shower is not a bad thing. They want to make it seem as if it's normal to tell you. No, it's not. That's a control thing. That person's free to be themselves. You're free to be yourself. You just advise each other in situations that humans advise each other, but not in situations we would say sort of private, right? Like when they would take a shower. That's weird. Because then you're implying they're stupid, that when they maybe don't smell well, you're implying they're stupid and don't know to go. You get me? You're implying they're stupid and don't already know that themselves. So that's why if we ever advise each other and it's moral, it would always be something that we actually forgot or don't know. You get me? You forgot to pick up some appointment or something like that. You're human. That's things you can forget. That someone who loves you could remember and tell you. But things like go take a shower, go dress up. You get me? That's actually how you see domestic violence type of cases when they try to make documentaries or movies, right? The male is always trying to tell the female, go clean yourself, go do this. Like it's that, get it? It's a way to just treat your body like it's their body. Like it belongs to them. They tell you when to go clean it and stuff. That's disgusting. You get me? So you're just happy. After that honeymoon, you're just happy. You're just living your life. You're not going to look at each other and be like, do you want to do it? No. You're just natural. Get it? Just like when you were first getting along. When you were just walking together, having conversation. You're just natural. Just like you've already seen in in humans all the time. They're just chatting, right? This male and female, unrelated, healthy, right? They're just chatting. And then that energy of that sexual comes over them. And now, if they're married, it's okay. But if they're not married, then they can have that sin of then kissing and stuff like that. That's what I mean. That's what sex is. When you're married, it just happens naturally like that. So they might just sleep that first night. So God did not tell human beings to be sexual a certain night or day or whatever after your marriage. I told you, this human race doesn't study anything. They don't study where things come from. This comes from the bad side of humans, the ones who are creepy and weird and always try to pressure you. God created you to just honor yourself and honor each other and just be natural. And I guarantee you, you're never going to feel something that the other doesn't feel. Because I just told you, energy transcends to the other side, right? if you're feeling sexual, then they're gonna feel it. It just could mean that maybe you felt it first or they felt it first. In that sense, that's a speed-like thing. A few seconds early. But it would have happened on its own for them. You get me? You didn't make them. That's not normal. You're not God. You didn't create that in them. It just means, right? They're gonna feel that at their own time. Okay. So now what does that mean? Sorry, there's just some creepy, weird people walking around. I'm just pausing. So yeah, it just means that things then will just be natural. You're just gonna look at each other as you're laughing. Okay, and then you're just gonna feel it. And it's just gonna happen. But up to the level that both of you feel. It may not be the full sexual behavior. You get me? Because there's no such thing as dialogue. How much do you want to do it? That's creepy. Yeah, you're human beings. You're not weird, creepy, nasty things, okay? You can just become that way. You're human beings. God gave you honor in your natural state when you were good. So everything about you is honorable unless you become evil, you know? Things just happen normally, naturally. You're just going to stop because the flow stops. The sort of energy stops. Like that. That's literally how sex should be. In terms of what God created. That's how it is. It just, you don't feel it anymore. You just stop and you go to sleep. Or you go do your work or whatever. Like that. And then the other day, okay, you're going to already think about it, right? Because you're married or whatever. Or you're together, whatever. It's just going to happen on its own naturally. But see, movies and all these weird things, and before movies, ancient, perverted, creepy humans, ones who also used to do rape to people and sell them off to someone, right? They don't know or whatever, call it arranged marriage, all these weird, creepy things that are all just rape. Choosing someone random for a king or queen and being like, take this person. What? All these perversions of selling the body and killing it and raping it. It's those weird ones who all went to hell. Those are the ones who are still manipulating this area of sexuality. They're still here. You know, humans just like them are here. Okay, so it's them who are always showing you these movies, which you obviously shouldn't watch these scenes in a movie. All right, they go to a club or bar, they're drunk as hell. They already have demons in their body. They're going to come and just going to grab onto each other just like that. They created a system that if you go on a date, then you come to a hotel or a room or home or whatever, they just do it. So then the demons want to come to your mind and make it seem as if that's how God made marriage or something. Right? Like you just have to then do it also. No, it's something you do when both of you feel it. There's no number. There's no rule. It's just that humans who naturally do desire each other, right? A healthy level. Humans just have observed how many they just do naturally. Not by number. They didn't count. But just, right, if we observe these people who just naturally, right? They're not planning it. If we were to then ask them every week, right, like you're a doctor or something, not regular people, maybe a doctor just asked them, well, in your natural ways, where you don't tell each other, but it just happens naturally, how many times a week did you do it? Like that, whatever number they gave, it's like someone one day took that and made it into a statistic. That word, it keeps sounding like a, right? So then other humans, you see, should not be pressured into then following that number. And then the number that others have gave that's too much than that, you shouldn't then think those people love each other more or more sexual. There's no such thing. You're individuals. You have your own way that you two would look at each other and feel things and then do what you need to do. Stop following other people's numbers. There's no number. God have mercy. So that's how God created sex. It's when you both feel it. I mean, it's possible the other's distracted or busy or whatever. You're not one body, and maybe you feel it. Okay, but when you get their attention, it's going to be a beautiful way of getting their attention. Like you just touch their shoulder, they're distracted reading a paper, they turn around. Like that, and they just see your face, and they can see what you're feeling. You get me? It's not this weird thing. You're not even projecting anything about sexual to them. Just simply the fact that, I hate these words. just the fact that you are basically desiring them. But see, it's not about them. You're not going to actually project to them. If they just saw you, right, they turned around. They're not going to see you projecting to them that you desire them, because it's that sort of same pressure again, like they're not a person. No, what they're going to see, right, if you're this correct example of a moral way God created you, they're just going to see that, God have mercy. I don't like talking about these things, obviously. They're just going to see that basically that you're feeling, I'm not going to say that way because that means something else. Humans have already created meaning of that statement. They're seeing that basically you feel certain emotions, right? I wouldn't really call it thoughts. Certain emotions that are then causing you to have, it's not surface, it's not high level, it's actually down. So certain emotions, right, we would call them the surface level, that then have caused you on a low level to have these urges come out. The sexual energy to come over you. You get me? That's what a good person who's pure in that moment, that's how, when they're feeling that way, but the other isn't in that, right? They're distracted or whatever. You get me? Obviously, what the hell are they? They don't feel the same time, right? Just when this person isn't, right? I just don't mean isn't as in like they don't want this person. I mean, they're just that day they are not, right? So this person would just get their attention. You get me? That's what humans don't tell each other. Who are good people, they don't tell you they want to be sexual, right? That's not normal. Because that implies pressure, you know? That implies taking away your free will, what you want to do. So they use nonverbal communication. Dressing a certain way that is going to elicit those desires is not really allowing that person to make a free choice, because you're still pressuring them. It's just, you just want to project it. You just want to, not project, sorry. You just want to get their attention, right? They basically looking away or doing something. You just simply want them to look at you. And now you see, because we're human beings, we can sort of sense what others are feeling and thinking. But since you two are very close, okay, it's going to be more obvious what you two are thinking. It's not going to be like that with strangers, okay? And it's also because we hide from strangers what we feel, God. So then, right, in this situation, you're not hiding it like that. Like that. It's just someone not hiding from you. So you just simply allow them to observe you. They're going to see what's going on. They're going to see what you're feeling. They're not going to see all this sexual stuff, right? Because that sort of implies this nasty way of treating each other. You know? Instead, they're feeling emotions, really. Not really sexual. The emotions are causing the sexual. So you see why then we would call this a pure? It's pure because good emotions are causing it. Like loving you and stuff. Missing you maybe. Things like that. Even if you're there. Maybe they thought of the fact that you could die one day and they just got emotional like that. Good emotions caused it. Compassion. So you see why the other humans are immoral? It's like a duty. They're treating you like a property or object or some machine. Well, this person is having beautiful feelings. If it's from God, right, it's the way God naturally made them to be, then you're never going to feel pressure. You're going to actually feel a longing for them and a desire to connect with them. That's it. So you see, connection, therefore, which is what usually women say they want, is therefore what this male then would not feel with her. He's going to feel connected with her because she tapped his shoulder, he turned around. You get me? This husband of hers. That's how healthy, righteous people would get each other's attention, or good people, or normal humans. They're just transcending what they feel to you. They're helping you see what they feel. You get to make the decision, do you want to do it now? There's no pressure. If you don't, it doesn't affect them. They're not mad. They're not thinking, oh, you don't love them. There's no such thing as you don't love me. Because this is not exactly what determines whether you love each other. Now, you already got married. That already means you love each other, correct? So we're talking about people who actually love each other. You get me? The relationship is already there, so no. This is just a behavior you do to connect. I didn't say to love each other. No, to connect. Because love implies many things. Helping each other if you're sick, taking care of each other, looking out, right? Love implies many acts of duties, right? Not duties, sorry. Love implies many acts that you would do, not one. This is just a big one, I guess, in terms of you observe. They're doing something very intimate, so humans who are perverted like to take away your humanity and just descend you to this one behavior. Not the pure one that I just described, because then how is that a big deal? Even if they descended you to this, right? No, when they're descending you to this one behavior, they're just talking about perversion, not sexual. I'm sorry, this would have been explained very well, and it would have been very short if I didn't have that evil witchcraft attack me. Maybe I'll make another episode, inshallah, but basically, that's how good people would, normal human beings, and the way God created that pure version of sexuality to just connect these two people. That's it. They're just gonna be intimate from a place of wanting to love each other. They always use words like make love to each other. That word is so gross because the perverts always take every normal word and statement and turn it into something creepy. Ugh. Even those who fool around use the word make love to each other. What the hell are you talking about making love, you perverts? Fooling around with random people you never saw? So like that. And that's it. You just then naturally become a pattern. Yeah, the last thing I wanted to talk about was the reason why there's no number that God ever created and that there's no number for other humans to then emulate, because that's taking away their free will. We're not the same. We're different. We're individuals. Is, you know how if you commit the sin of masturbation, you get yourself addicted to that. Doesn't your body become attuned to certain ways you did it and not others? Okay. The sin of alcohol. You get addicted to certain types of it. Okay. You got attuned to a certain type. That's the only thing that works for you for now. Like that. Drugs. Same thing. Normal behavior is the same. You get me? It's also something your body gets used to. So evil humans like to act like, well, then how do we fix it? How much should we have a week? You're not compatible. Someone did something wrong. You two should not have come together. Or one of you became evil and you were actually supposed to be together. You know, there's either way, one is weird. My goodness, my audio got cut off again. I explained something really important. I'm sick and tired of this. This is how you know demons are attacking me. God, give me strength. Okay, so basically, I was talking about this last quality. Where humans then act like, oh, then how much should we do? What should we do to fix it? Do we need to add more? They act like that's not from the devil. Just, to attack that evil quality that demons taught them. Which is they make it seem as if, I can't remember what I was talking about. I'm so pissed off. I've already been recording more than an hour. I'm already tired. These evil demons get on my nerves. Oh, you can hear those crazy vehicles. Really been strategy. Okay, so human beings who, not the incompatible ones, but the ones who are compatible, but one is causing a problem or both, and they just want to fix it. They might ask you, okay, then what should we do? What's the solution? Okay, hold on. There's too much noise around me. Right, they want to ask you then what should they do? Because this doesn't work for them or that doesn't work for them. They say things like, how should we spice it up? Or fix this or be attracted to each. What is going on? If people are compatible, they don't lose their desire for each other. They just get old, So yeah, that's obviously from the devil. Those are humans who are not supposed to be together, who he's using, or one became evil and they're asking for something evil, like violence to be involved in it, or anal or whatever. They're involving perversion and abuse and filth. So you get me? That's what, okay. In order to fix it, they don't need to pick a number. Just like any other sin, right? The sin of, let's say, masturbation. Because you did it a certain way for a certain extended period of time, Didn't your body get used to a certain way? Not always, but a certain way. Okay, so that works for you then, right? Okay, that's a sin. Obviously, you should give it up. Okay, alcohol. Okay, you got used to certain types of alcohol, correct? Okay, and that sort of works for you. You feel like that sort of gives you that evil emotion from demons projecting to you, right? Whatever you guys feel or whatever at the end. Same thing with very harmful sins like drugs, like that. So good things have that same psychology. You can have a routine, right? Get used to a certain way that you do it, and then your body, keyword, sort of like the actual body itself, including the brain, they actually get used to it. So if you sort of change it, right, it's just like changing your morning routine, like when you wake up. Aren't you gonna struggle? So humans sort of forget that this is the same with sex too. You have to, this airline, it's too loud. With sexual conduct, right, the healthy one between spouses, obviously the other people who are dating are committing a sin, but you get what I'm saying. They forget that they need to do the same thing. If they want to leave sin, right, and now be healthy with each other, they want to just make it better, whatever they're trying to do. Too much sex is obviously evil, because there are things that are normal and good, right? But if you do it too much, okay, now it becomes abusing the body, the health, and the other person, right? Because you guys are not supposed to mesh too much with each other. You're individuals. You have a life, okay? You also have a creator you're supposed to give time to and worship. The devil obviously is the one that's trying to push human beings into going in this direction. You get me? The direction of just making you only think about sex and nothing else. Not the friendship, not the talking, not the times where you clean the home together, right? Cook together, do things together, go out together, help people together. You don't do nothing. You just like animals or something. You know why? One, because that dishonors you as a human being. You're human beings. You're dignified in that sense. Before you become evil, you have so much, right? You have so much, obviously, potential. So he just doesn't want you to have that greatness you have that God gave you. You lose it the more you go crazy and evil. Okay, so he's then trying to descend you to perversion. So it's harder for him to teach you perversion if you focus on the things that build connection, such as talking, understanding how you guys feel. One comes from work and you sit down with them and say, okay, how you feeling this week? You know, you just, right, you're connected, that healthy way where no one's trying to make the other give or take. You're just connecting, right? Just no pressure, you know, you're just chatting. He knows it's hard to teach you to harm each other in those situations, especially since you're connecting, you're having eye contact, right, like that. Okay, so he wants to make you do sex more. You get me? Even though it's not a bad thing, God created it as a good thing. He's gonna, in his mind, as a demon, think to himself, he's gonna replace it. Keyword, over time, he's gonna teach your bodies and brain to replace that behavior with perversions. So you see why demons want to push males to always be obsessed with sex? Is because technically you would agree they're the ones who go down perversion more. That's why. Get it? Because he has to make them obsessed with something in a way that then so he can then easily bring them to a place where now he replaces it for them. It doesn't mean sex became perversion. It doesn't mean sex and perversion are the same. It doesn't mean they blend. It doesn't mean they mix. And no, good and evil don't mix. He's just going to replace the sex with perversion. You get me? Something else. But as a demon, he doesn't know how to descend the two of you into a place where you treat each other like objects. He doesn't know how to do it. Because when you're sitting down and having a conversation, he doesn't want to push you to talk to each other more. So then he can teach you to cuss each other out. It's very weird. You're not going to have conversations with someone to understand each other and then cuss each other out. That's weird. You know what? It's very hard to do that. You get me? Even though evil can come out of, he can teach you to replace that with foul language also. Yes. Just stay with me. You know, I'm just trying to show you what the agenda of the demons are. So yeah, sex is, you would say, a very intimate thing. You would maybe then think humans would be more connected in this case. And how do they abuse each other one day? Because evil is in the heart and mind. You know, that human is just like a robot with you when they're perverted. You might be thinking you're sexual with them, but they're seeing you some other way. They're seeing you from a place of perversion. So again, just from a place of what demons want. It's not human who are the problem. It's demons who are the problem. They want you to forget about all the other components that make love. Love is many components. Many things you do to honor, help, and be there for each other in this life. You're sick. You need help. You know what I mean? Yeah, you need emotional help. You're right. You're obviously there for each other in every area of your life. Like that. They don't want you to develop those ones. They want you to get away from it and just treat each other like some animals and abuse each other. Okay, so they're thinking, how can we do that to them? They push you more to just seeing each other only as just coming to each other for sex only. Then they're going to slowly want to teach you. It's up to you. They're going to want to teach you to bring perversion into it. You know? Nasty things into it slowly. And now you could be doing horrible things to each other like that. So there's a reason why there's this sort of weird obsessiveness that comes out of human beings, right? Something's trying to force and push them into being too sexual. You get me? That's actually demons pushing and pressuring humans into that behavior. Whether it's watching stuff online, whether it's thinking about there's actually something outside of you trying to push you to it, because those are demons. Because then one day they want to show you perversion and replace that with perversion. You get me? It didn't mean they mixed it for you. No, they replaced it. You're no longer seeing the pure. Okay, so that's the explanation. You know what I mean? If you're like, what's wrong with these males or human beings overall? So, okay, as I was saying, right, your body gets used to things, right? So you guys forget if you want to fix something. If maybe you want to be intimate a certain way, you want to be pure now, you want to be honoring to each other, whatever good you're trying to do, you forget it also needs a routine. Just as anything else you did, over time, your body got used to it. You get me? Humans think if something's good, then they should just be able to accomplish it. That's not how God created things. We have to do it over a period of time, like a routine. Then our brain and our body get used to it. So do you see why then demons want to drag you to things? It's not just to make you do bad behavior. They want your brain and your body to change. So that then now your heart and mind, they like evil. You know what I mean? And you don't obviously love or like evil. Evil is bad. Humans just go there. I just mean, right, you've agreed with evil. You know, you guys don't see that as much, that they're trying to change your heart and mind. So that's why when they teach someone a sin, right? Okay, like drugs, for example, it's not going to make much difference the first time. The second time they possess them, yeah, but it's not going to do much of a difference. Over time, now their brain changed, right? Their heart changed, their body changed. Now that change means it's easier to teach you to then be a violent person. Drug addicts usually are very violent, right? Like that. So they're trying to change your brain and your body. So you guys forget if you were doing sex that God didn't create, but you are just calling it sex, right? But you actually doing perversion to each other, weird things to each other, or it had no intimacy and it had no connection with it. Whatever you're trying to do now to fix that, humans forget they need to get their body, right? Their reproductive organs and the whole body as well. And then their brain to get attached to the new way that you're doing things. Then it's going to start to feel enjoyable. You get me? Otherwise, it's going to feel out of place. You need time to get used to it. Again, it's going to be enjoyable for you because you're changing things to the pure way you should be doing things. I'm not saying it's not comfortable. I mean, then, right? It's not your thing. So you need time. So just don't forget that, you know? That's why these human beings complain about wanting to change things, but then they don't know how to do it. It's because they're not the right people for each other, or one is evil and asking the other something they shouldn't. So one is being controlled and abused in that relationship. So then it's not a relationship anymore now. So for that reason, when they say things like, oh, give us advice. We don't want to be sexual 2 times a week. We want to at least do 3, which is actually too much. Whatever. Exactly. They want to make it seem as if a third person, a third party can teach them. No one can teach you. You guys just need to train your body over time to get used to it. So then the devil will come to their mind and you say things out of them that's not true. Right? Where they're going to accuse God of not making them desire or like or be comfortable with the normal, natural ways. Because, right, this bad way they were doing it, there's no love, there's no mercy, there's no intimacy. They're just treating each other like objects. They want to make it seem like some of these human beings say things like, this is the only thing that gets them off. Why would evil what the hell are you talking about? It's not going to give you that sexual release. If you were doing things to each other that was saying is no. They're not obviously sexually satisfied because they're not moral with their spouse. They're not moral with this person. Such as these males who are always complaining their wives don't want to be sexual with them. Well, there's no love, there's no compatibility. He's probably abusing her, and that's the common sense, obviously, result that she would then change. And he doesn't care about her. He doesn't want to hear what's going on. He doesn't want to listen to her. He's not a healthy human or male. So, of course, he's just going to see he's so selfish and evil. He just wants the evil way. He doesn't want love or intimacy, because if you wanted love and intimacy, what would you all do if you were a good person and you wanted love? The first thing that should come to your mind is talking to the person, right? Because we just want to understand each other. We like spending time together. Are you going to say you feel sexual 24/7 of your life? Impossible. God did not create you like that, correct? You want to eat food, you want to go out, have fun, you want to sleep. You have other ways that your body wants things from you, not just, what the hell is wrong here? Right? So that's how you know he's not a healthy human. He's not a normal male, and she's not a normal female. They're doing that to the other person. Because they're acting like they just need this and they're good to go. Whoa! This is not a relationship then. I don't know what the hell this is. If you ask me what it is, it's just perversion. Because you need all the other components of a relationship, right? The mental, emotional, psychological, verbal connections. You know? We can even say soul-like or spiritual connections. Because the soul needs to love you. They don't want all that because they're not a good person. They don't love or care about this person. They just want to use them as an act of dominance. Okay, so then they're going to act like, right, there's something wrong with the gender, or there's something wrong with this person or God, right, as if God made things so disparities, like I said, like some disparity, that then they can't just change to what we advise them to change to. You gave me the normal way. No, it's because you did bad, you did evil, you did sin. Your body needs time to get used to normal things. Just like homosexuals did so much filth to themselves, they will always naturally desire the opposite gender, that's unrelated and healthy age gap for them. They can't take that out of their system. That's their nature. It's just that they still need to cleanse themselves of this filth. Like that. So the body needs time to get used to normalcy, because you made it get sensitized to bad things. Okay, so humans just need to allow their body and mind to just change to the good, healthy way that they're supposed to change it to, instead of using that to then make it seem as if it's not possible, is what I'm saying. Kind of forgot what I was trying to say. There's too much witchcraft in my environment. Okay, I'm going to end it here. Just know that God didn't do anything weird where one gender can't, be compatible with the other. It's just humans can pick the wrong person, correct? So then that's why we're going to have problems. One is going to abuse the other sometimes. Abuse doesn't just mean physical. It's just control and trying to act dominant in many ways you can think of. So you get me? Just know, whoever God wants for you to be with, you're just going to naturally, the way he created sex to happen, it's supposed to be something that happens because you just feel that way that day. It's just you go with the flow, okay? You don't create rules. You don't say, this is what other people do, so there's no such thing as other people. You see? You're an individual, like he reminding you over and over again. You're an individual, you have your own thing, okay? You have your own personality. You and that person, you're just going to naturally, you're supposed to, in God's eyes, just let things flow naturally. And I told you, right? If someone's saying, well, I don't feel connected to them anymore, right? Something's wrong. Just know demons are causing that. But you're human. Stress, right? It doesn't mean you don't want them. It just means they're stressed. You just don't maybe want to do certain things. Okay, you know then what to do. Just use common sense. You just need to alleviate the stress and spend more time together. You need to connect more eye contact, more conversation, more going out. You know what I mean? Like how their friends sort of know this person. You also need to know each other like that. Like your sort of personality traits, how you're feeling that week, your insecurities. You need to actually become friends in that other way. Like someone who actually knows you, rather than sadly the way demons have taught males and females. Just the body, right? They come together, all they do is hold each other, sit on, like the female sits on the male's lap. That's all they do. They just touch. Because they have demons of perversion in them. They're just going to teach you that. You're not human with each other. Humans have conversation. They talk. They do good things together, right? Maybe you become humanitarians and go help people like that. You do good things together. You help others. You talk about what you're scared of, and this person tries to see what they can do for you. Like, that's what a human is. They have more to give you because they're not an object. So don't listen to those weird videos that try to scare you of that. You're not going to have those problems if you're being a moral person with each other. Take care of yourselves.